So let's start on the floor today. And we will be doing the sun salute on a chair to start with. So if you're just tuning in, we're going to be doing sun salutes today. So you want a strap and a block and a chair. We're going to begin on the floor, on our backs, get warmed up so that we can practice our sun salute on a chair. And then if you so desire, we can take it to the floor. So come on down, here we are. Coming onto our backs, have a strap nearby since we're going to be warming up our favorite muscle group, the hamstrings today, to make that down dog just a little bit more friendly. We're coming onto our backs. And we're just going to pause here and settle in constructive rest. Do a tune in. So sometimes constructive rest can feel like we need support underneath our pelvis. So maybe we can stack a blanket or a towel there, or maybe we need to have a little something under our heads. We're looking for that sweet spot where we can just truly allow our body to let go. And as always, we begin with our breath. We let ourselves soften into breath. And maybe we notice as we breathe, there's a little rocking that takes place in the pelvis on the in-breath. Perhaps the waist lifts a little off the floor, and on the out-breath, the waist settles a little closer to the floor. When the waist is lifting, perhaps the chin tilts a little bit away from the heart. And when we breathe out, perhaps the chin tucks a little bit toward the heart. When we breathe in, we're going to actively lift the waist. We're rolling down toward the tailbone. We're going to actively tilt our head away so that our chin is pointed toward the ceiling. We may notice that there's a little bit of action happening in the feet. And then we're going to roll down, let the head release, let the waist release. Notice that we're pushing into our feet in this posture, chin toward heart. So this is a pelvic tilt practice, but we're going to go back to neutral, and we're going to notice how this builds from our in and out breath, because there's a natural extension on the in breath that takes our chin back, our spine long, our waist lifts, and then on the out breath, we're doing flexion. Chin comes toward the heart, waist toward the floor. And now we're going to breathe with this, breathing in into our extension and breathing out into our flexion. Breathing in as we lift the waist and look back. Breathing out as the chin tucks and we look forward. We're following our breath here. We're keeping the glutes on the floor. We're just rocking up and down on the sacrum, the center of the pelvis. So for hips and knees and low back, This is a really important posture because it warms everything up and gets us ready to move a little bit more. We're going to walk our feet together. We're going to rock gently right and left. Keeping the feet touching. The knees aren't going very far. Maybe we're just rocking to the inner and outer edges of the feet, maybe just a little bit, not too far. And then we're going to pause. We're going to scoot our feet out, keeping the knees bent. We're scooting our feet out as wide as the mat. And now we're going to windshield wiper right and left. With this action, we're looking for the point at which our spine rotates and turns our head in the same direction as the knees. So when the knees are going to the right, the head goes to the right. When the knees go to the left, the head goes to the left. We're just having a gentle rocking here, right and left, and we don't have to go very far. We're not aiming to get the knees on the floor. In yoga, it's about listening to what works for your body. Then we're going to come back to center. We're going to be lifting our knees in, and the proviso is always to press into the low back so we create flexion in the spine. The chin's coming a little bit toward our heart as we anchor the low back to lift the legs. So we're going to draw both knees in. That's a great way to come into this posture without any strain in the back. And then we're going to press the left leg long and then tuck it back in. The right leg presses long and maybe comes toward the floor, and then it comes back in. So now we're warming up the abdominals, left leg long toward the floor maybe. If going toward the floor is too much work, then just extend the leg to a point that is easy for the body. We'll do a couple more of these. And then we're going to bring the feet back to the mat. So when we go through the Surya Namaskar, which is the sun salute, there's points at which the abdominals are really engaged. So we're warming them up. Now we grab that strap because hamstrings need to have a little bit of warmth in them. So we're going to get our hamstrings warmed up by looping the strap over the arch of the foot. We're going to bring that leg to a point that is easy for us to navigate. So a leg that is at 90 degrees, such as mine, where the hip, the knee, and the ankle are in alignment, that's a much easier posture that takes less work than if the knee is bent away from the body. But coming into this posture can be really daunting and painful for some people. So I just want to acknowledge that if the knee is bent at an angle, it's going to be way more work for the body. But we want that work because the hamstrings tend to be very tight because we sit around or we ride bicycles. That can do it too. So we're coming into just a little stretch here. And we're breathing. And now we're going to turn the toes out. The heel is coming in. So this is going to work different sections. There's 3 hamstrings. And if you count the inner thigh muscles as one, that would be 4. So we're working that with a static hold. We're just pausing here and we're breathing. And then we're going to turn the heel out and the toes in. I'm probably going to feel that in the inner knee, the medial side of the knee, and maybe up in the hip flex, up the adductor, the inner thigh muscle. Breathing here. I noticed that my elbow was trying to help this posture. It really doesn't. And then we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to remove that strap and we're going to take that knee over. And we've draped our knees together. So the left leg in theory is the leg that's on top. If your right leg's on top, no problem. Whichever leg is on top, we're going to do a little tip in that direction, coming onto the inner edge of the opposite foot, but we're not rolling all the way to the floor. And then we come back to center. We're going to take that opening again. Let the head follow the knees. Back to center. And again. And back to center. And one more time. Back to center. Unwrap the leg. Bring that foot to standing. And then simply pause here to notice the sensations in the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Let's switch legs now. Oh, so now it's that right leg coming to the sky. Flexed foot. Again, if 90 degrees or further is not available, have a soft knee and find the place that is. We're going to pause and allow the hamstrings to open, to wake up, to warm up. One of the things that we can do to help our hamstrings is to draw the kneecap up into the quadriceps. So when the quadricep muscles engage, it's called reciprocal inhibition. When the quadricep is engaged, the hamstrings have more room to play. So that's one clue for helping hamstrings find softness. Breathe here, and then slowly turn the toes in and the heel out. And if we could remember back to the other side, we might notice that there's a different set of muscles being activated on this side than the other side. That's really common. So for instance, maybe we feel it in the glutes or the gluteus medius, or I'm going to stop saying muscle groups, but it could be felt in a different way in a different section of the body. Let's turn that toe out, the heel in. Whew. Breathe here. One more breath. And then we come back to neutral. We're going to release this knee across the other knee. And we're going to do that gentle rolling. So my right leg's on top, I'm rolling to the right, coming onto the inner edge of the standing foot, letting the head follow the turn. Just allowing the body to relax a little bit. This posture is kind of like dessert for the hips. And then we're going to unwrap our feet. Take the feet out as wide as the mat and drop the knees together. And then we're going to take that left knee toward the right calf, back to knees touching. Right knee to left calf, back to knees touching. So now we're just going to keep one knee is going to be pointed at the ceiling while the other knee travels. So this is a hip joint activator. Just going back and forth. Nothing too exciting here, though you'll probably really feel it in the pelvic girdle. And then we're going to pause. We're going to roll to one side, press ourselves up to seated. Draw the soles of the feet together. Holding on at the ankles or on the feet or behind the knees, depending on what your body says it wants to do today. We're going to begin slowly hinging forward from our hip crease. So it's not about getting the nose on the feet. It's about having a nice long spine and helping the low back find some length and helping the hip joints release a little bit more. Get nice and lubricated in the hips. We're going to come back to seated. We're going to sweep our hands behind us. And we're going to lift our heart. Draw the shoulder blades together here. The chin is lifted, though we're not craning the head back. We're just lifting our chin ever so slightly. And then we're going to come back to center. And we're going to begin our sun salute practice. And we're going to start on the chair. So we're kind of warmed up now, ready to go. So make your way to standing. We're going to start with the chair. So I'm going to do this sideways. Make sure that if you're working on a chair, at least 2 rungs are on a sticky mat so they won't slide. Maybe even all 4 for stability's sake. We pause in mountain. We ground into our feet. We really feel the earth beneath our feet. We touch our toes. We connect with the outer edges of our feet. We notice our heels all the way around, up the arch, back to the big toe. We're going to engage the quadriceps by lifting the kneecaps up into the quadriceps, into the thigh muscles. We're going to inhale our arms up. We're coming into extended mountain. If the shoulders aren't happy, the arms can always be at an angle or stop at the T. We're going to breathe here for a couple of breaths. On the next exhale, we're going to fold to the chair. We're going to just allow ourselves to be folded here. I'm stepping forward a little bit. I felt like I was too far back. Holding the outer edges of the chair. Let the elbows bend and maybe the head comes closer to the seat of the chair. And now we're going to do a half lift. So we straighten our arms, straighten our back, pause here. This is the inhale. On the next exhale, we're going to fold toward the chair and step back with our right leg, coming into a lunge. So we're doing this slowly to begin with. And now we're going to step back with our left leg and we're coming into a down dog on the chair. So the legs are nice and long and strong. Draw the kneecaps up into the quadriceps again to release some of the hamstrings. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into an up dog. So we begin to move forward. I like to squish my feet back just a little bit. Draw the belly up and in. This is like a plank on the chair. This is also called up dog. So we're breathing in here. The heart is forward between the arms. Belly is really nice and strong. And on the next inhale, on the next exhale, we're going back into dog. So what I notice is I rearrange my feet between the up dog and the down dog, just because it's easier for me to do that. On the next inhale, we're going to draw that right foot forward, come to the top of a lunge. We're going to exhale the left foot forward. Breathe in. On the exhale, we fold. Couple of breaths here. On the next inhale, we're half lifting, so we straighten our arms. And on the next exhale, we fold again. And on the next inhale, we sweep our arms up. Hands come to heart center. We feel the grounding in our feet. We sweep our arms up, breathe in. On the exhale, we're going to fold to the chair. Bend your knees as needed to soften the low back. On the next inhale, we're taking our left leg back. We're coming to the top of a lunge. On the next exhale, we're going to step our right leg back, coming into down dog. We're taking the weight of this posture into our feet so that the hands can be soft and light on the chair. Breathing in and out. On the next in-breath, we're going to come forward into that plank, also known as up dog. On the next exhale, we come back into dog. On the next inhale, we're going to bring that left foot forward, come to the top of a lunge. We're going to step that right foot forward. On the next exhale, breathe in. And on the exhale, we fold. On the inhale, we half lift. And on the exhale, we fold. And the inhale, we sweep to mountain. Hands come to heart center. And we pause here. So now we can move to the floor if you'd like, or continue to do the practice on the chair. If you're coming to the floor, we're going to step to the top of our mats. We begin with our hands at heart center. We float the arms up and we feel the tips of our toes, the tips of our hands. We feel that full extension. On the next exhale, we fold to our feet or to the seat of the chair, bend the knees as needed. Let the head relax down. On the next in-breath, let's half lift. Hands come to shins. A couple of breaths here. And then on the out breath, we fold. We're going to step back with our right foot. We're in a lunge. On the next out breath, we're going to step back with the left foot. We're coming into down dog. When we're in down dog, we're feeling all of the fingertips, ball mounds on the foot of the feet and the hands on the floor. We're sinking the heels a little bit toward the floor. We're going to come forward into that up dog, that plank position. And then we fold back into down dog. We're going to be bringing our right foot forward. I move my hands out of the way to swing my leg forward. Or you can stand up and walk that knee forward. Or you can scoot it up with the back with your hand, drawing it forward. We're in a lunge. On the next in-breath, we're bringing that right foot up. We're in a forward fold. On the in-breath, half lift. On the out-breath, we fold. On the next in-breath, we're going to sweep up. And hands come to heart center. And we pause here. We're welcoming the sun coming back on the solstice. The days getting longer. We're going to sweep the arms up. On the out breath, we fold. The in breath is a half lift. And the out breath is a fold. We step back with the left leg, lunge. We step back with the right, down dog. Pause here. On the next in-breath, we come forward into our plank, our up dog. And exhale, down dog. This time we're going to sweep our left foot forward. We're in the top of a lunge. And then on the next in-breath, on the next out-breath, we're going to sweep that right foot forward. We're in the bottom of a forward fold, breathing. On the next in-breath, we half lift. On the next out-breath, we fold. And on the next in-breath, we rise to mountain. Hands come to heart center. Pausing for a moment. We're going to make our way back to the floor now, and we're going to do it through down dog. So if you can do it on the chair, you can do it standing. We're going to sweep up, fold forward, step or hop back into downward facing dog. Slowly lowering one knee at a time. We're going to come back to constructive rest posture. We're going to take a block in hand. Before we do our Psoas stretch, we're going to just pause and notice how our body feels resting on the floor now. Did anything change? We're going to walk our feet a little closer to our glutes. We're going to bring our arms to robot arms. So the elbows are next to the rib cage, fingertips are pointing at the sky. We're going to tuck our tailbone up. We're going to lift the tailbone, press into the inner edges of the feet to rise into a bridge. We breathe here. And then we're slowly going to lower one section of the spine at a time to the floor. Breathe. Making sure those feet are as close to the glutes as your body says is comfortable. We're going to press into the feet. Tailbone lifts. We come up onto our shoulders. So really, when we're coming into bridge, we're resting on our shoulders. We're going to take that block, scoot it underneath the sacrum, which we got to explore with our pelvic tilts to begin with. Finding a comfortable spot. Pausing here. And then we're going to draw that left leg in. We're giving ourselves a nice hug here. We have flexed our foot. We're sliding that right leg long. That foot's flexed also. We're pressing through the heel of the right leg. We're breathing. I'm going to be here for about a minute and a half. That's about 15 breaths. I'd say we're about halfway through that. Connect with the flexed right heel. Press into the wall for a little deeper stretch. Let the jaw be soft. And now slowly we're going to return our right foot to standing, our left foot to standing. We're going to make sure that block is in the right place so that we feel really supported in this posture. And now we're going to switch sides. The right leg draws in, the left leg slides long, flexed feet, pressing through the heel of the left foot. We'll be here for about a minute and a half. Got about 30 seconds left. Flex that left heel, press that heel toward this wall in front of us, in front of you. And then slowly, 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 that heel slides up. The other foot releases to the floor. We pause, and we're going to be in this posture for about a minute and a half. This is supported bridge. So while the extended leg works the hip flexor psoas, iliopsoas complex, this helps to release the piriformis in the glutes. We're going to prepare to move out of this posture. So once again, we're going to walk our feet closer to the glutes. We're going to press into the feet, tip the tailbone up, slowly lower one section of the spine at a time, coming back to the floor. We're in constructive rest. Maybe notice how this feels. Maybe you want to move your feet a little bit further away from the torso. But we're back to our baseline where we're noticing how it feels to rest on the floor now. We're noticing if anything is different than when we started our practice. Now, if there's a stretch that you'd like to do, we're going to enter our time of Savasana. So if there's a stretch that would feel good to your body, now is the time to do it. And then we're going to rest in Savasana. And the poem for today is the poem I use at seasonal doorways, which the winter solstice is one. This is a poem by Wu Men. 10,000 flowers in spring, the moon in autumn, a cool breeze in summer, snow in winter. If your mind isn't clouded by unnecessary things, this is the best season of your life. Finding your way to seated, wherever that may be. We open our arms wide. We gather all the blessings that already exist, and in appreciation and gratitude, we draw them into our hearts. And together we all say, Namaste.